is me, Mr. Mario, and I'm just going to be showing you all this console real quick. So first off, just need to give two shout-outs. Number one, shout out to Modified360. I was actually in a Skype call with him one night, and he was just looking at consoles online, and he stumbled upon this Opus motherboard. I got it for, well, the Opus console itself. It was an Opus that had been exploited with the Reset Glitch 1 hack. It was missing the Cool Runner, and it had the Red Ring of Death. So it was like $25 after shipping, something like that. And I thought about it for a day. I didn't get it that night, but the next day I got it because I was like, you know, that's actually a pretty good deal for an Opus that I'm wanting. So I went ahead, I got that, and then second one, big shout out to Johnny Guns. He's the one that got this system up to speed. I talked to him about it before I purchased it, and I asked, hey, you know, I'm getting this Opus. Would you mind if I put your address on the return address for it, and then I just send it to you, you can fix it up, get it up to speed, and get it back to me? Because honestly, I could have handled the exploit part. The problem was, this system had the red ring issue, so it needed at least a reflow. So the GPU has been reflowed on this. The system had tight bolts on it, so Johnny took the bolts off, like the bolts and the washers and everything, and he put the original X-clamps back on. Then it needed a Cool Runner, so it has a Cool Runner right here, actually, I have it. Cool Runner Rev C on it. And it's a Reset Glitch 1 system. So honestly, I was happy it got exploited. If I had it on hand, I probably would have exploited it myself, like if it worked and everything. Because the thing is with these Opus systems, honestly, it's more of a collector's thing for me. I picked up this system because it is the only fat motherboard I've never owned. I've owned all the others. I've owned small block Jaspers, big block Jaspers, Falcon. I assume I've owned versions 1 and 2 of the Falcon. Zephyrs, Xenons. I actually thought I had an Opus for a bit, but then I looked in the back of the power plug and it was just a Xenon with a mangled power plug, which I'll get into that. So honestly, if you're wanting to specifically get an Opus, I would not really recommend it unless you are really, I don't know, like unless you stumble upon one for like $20 and you need a system, or if you're a collector and kind of just want one just to say you had an Opus, then that could work. Also, this helped out Johnny as well, because now Johnny can officially say that he's worked on an Opus, because this was his first one. So the Opus motherboard, what makes this so rare? Well, first off, I'll flip it around the back right here, because this is what you need to see. Now you see it's missing HDMI, and that's why I said I really don't recommend, you know, getting an Opus if you're just wanting to play a system, because it does not have HDMI on it. However, I'll show you all the power plug right here. Let me go ahead and shine my light into it if I can. And if you can see that at all, it is missing the middle prong, which a Xenon would normally have. And as you can see, it hasn't been mangled or anything. So, this is essentially, all this is a Falcon motherboard with a missing HDMI output on it. Well, the question here is, why would Microsoft make one of these systems? Well, when the systems, you know, originally red-ringed and everything, you'd have to send them into Microsoft, get them repaired and all that. And for a while, you know, there were the Xenon motherboards, which did not have HDMI, and then the Zephyrs, which were essentially Xenons with upgraded heat sinks and HDMI outputs on them. But then the Falcons came out, which had HDMI and ran at 175 watts as opposed to 203 watts. Then they completely stopped manufacturing the Xenon. Now, if you sent in a Xenon motherboard after they stopped manufacturing Xenons and they ran out of Xenons, they would give you an Opus. So that you would still get a console back with no HDMI out on it. However, it pretty much had the guts of a Falcon, so it was more reliable in that sense. It ran a bit cooler, everything like that. So all this is literally on the inside a Falcon motherboard with no HDMI. That is all this console is, but again, as I said, the rarity factor does go up due to the fact the only way you could get one of these motherboards was if you had a Xenon and you sent it into Microsoft after they ran out of Xenon systems to replace it with. So you would get one of these nice little Opus systems. And that's why I really didn't recommend, you know, picking one up if you're just wanting to get a system just for giggles. Mainly due to the fact that it's nice to have that HDMI output on there, and honestly, again, as I said, I would have exploited this on my own if I had it anyway, so I'm glad it was exploited, because that will bring up the value a little bit, and it gives me a reason to use it. I'll go ahead and turn this on though, so you all could see this thing booting up. Because the nice thing is, since this is a Falcon, it boots up really fast. And it's a reset glitch 1, which just makes it even better. So let's go ahead and turn the system on. As you can see, that's like as fast as a retail boot. So we got that. Go ahead and turn this off. And the drive has been flashed as well. I believe it has a BenQ drive in it. We can go ahead and eject this as well, just so you all can see that this is a reset glitch. Zell boots up stupid fast on there, and as you can see in the background, we have all the text that's going to start scrolling and all that, and Zell is loaded up on there. So we'll go ahead and just turn the system back off. But again, as I said, literally all this system is just a Falcon motherboard without HDMI. And again, I really wouldn't recommend, getting one of these unless you're, I don't know, kind of wanting to collect them like I myself, like I just wanted to say I own an Opus. So I'm not going to be getting rid of this system because again, as I said, they are a bit hard to come by. But again, I'll show you power port right here. Right there in the back. If I can get it, there we go. It is just, because normally, like in between, all the things right there, there's normally a port in the middle, or like a little prong. And what a lot of people do is they take these Xenons and then just bust out that prong so they can run a plastic tipped power supply in them. But this one does not have that. It never had it to begin with, so it is an official Opus. Alright, so there we go. That's just the little system overview. Just wanted to show you all that in case anyone was interested. But anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone.